And we're live. And we're live for episode 11 of Slaaaaap Haaaaapy. That's right, Slaaaaap Haaaaapy. I'm coming at you live and direct from the Riff, a.k.a. Penrith, a.k.a. Lower Mountains, a.k.a. Penny Panthers, was good, a.k.a. the West. The West is where I am. And I am currently at my girlfriend's parents' place in beautiful Penrith because I am currently stranded. And that's okay. You know, it is what it is. We're here. I came to visit family and friends for Christmas. And we kind of decided to stay when we kind of got left with a touch and go decision to either leave immediately and not get to see family and friends that we hadn't seen for, well over a year and a half, or kind of stay, risk that the stay in hope that the Avalon cluster kind of settled down. But at least get to see like my mum and dad and my sister and my brother, and the rest of my family and friends. So that was the decision that me and my partner were left with just before Christmas. And yeah, we decided it was too much of a risk to go back immediately, just to kind of, I don't know, this sounds a little dramatic, but maybe to our mental health. It's been a bloody long year for a lot of people in the world, and we're included in that. And we just I needed to see my mom and dad really, and my little sister. So we decided to stay. And as it stands, we are we're Sydney-siders again. We're New South Wales residents. We're cockroaches, baby. Yeah. And could be worse. Could be a hell of a lot worse. So I'm here. I'm posted up in the front room. It's the their studio, their spare room kind of thing. I'm posted up here. I got my little setup. And today I'm going to be doing a 2020 year in review. I wanted to get this up yesterday. I skipped last week because I wanted to let the year kind of see out and see what developed and see if there was anything else I could talk about. But also just kind of enjoy 1 week off so I could just kind of concentrate on spending time with family and friends. And then, kind of get this done this week with an idea of kind of, reviewing the year, reviewing what happened for me personally and kind of some thoughts and feelings I had about it and kind of what I want to do potentially going forward. That's basically it. I'm going to cover a whole bunch of stuff. It's actually strange. I think this room there's a lot of a reverb or something going on. So it's going to be interesting when I pull this in to edit it later. What's going on there? We'll find out in due course. Hopefully this motherfucking camera is still recording. That would be nice. Actually, I'm going to check because I don't want to get to the end and just have it, realize that I've just been recording for, an hour straight and not have press record, because I would do something like that. I have done that before. So I'm going to just double check real quick. And we're good. We're recording. So that's a plus. So we're recording video, we're recording audio, and we are on to our 2020 review. Yeah. So 2020, brief summary. I'm living in Melbourne at the beginning of 2020. As I touched on in some of the other podcasts, I was working 2 jobs in January. When the year began, I was, like everyone, beginning of the year, very optimistic, going to change this, going to change that, going to implement this. Actually, I'm never really one for, I've never been one for like grand gestures at the beginning of a new year. I kind of just think like, if you're going to be doing it, you've already started doing it. Like if you really want to do something, you're already doing it anyway. Like I just feel like, I don't really try to reserve big gestures for the beginning of a new year. I've just kind of, it's just never been my thing. I don't know. I never really gravitated towards it, but and nothing had changed in 2020. I kind of just thought, just keep chugging along, keep doing my thing, keep grinding it out. Just keep trying to improve day after day, trying to be better. So I started the year working 2 jobs. I was like obviously trading, and then at night I was working in this bar. I was slaving away, and honestly, I was fucking really close to breaking point in January. Probably towards the end of 2019, but definitely in January, I threw in the towel with trading. I thought, this is not really sustainable. I can't really do this. I can't really keep up all the hours that I'm putting into both trading and this job, and trying to maintain my relationships, like obviously with my girlfriend and my brothers and my mates and my family, and trying to keep my health up and work on, I don't know, I just kind of, I felt like I wasn't really on top of anything. I felt like I was being pulled in a whole bunch of different directions, and just that my energy was spread way too thin to really, make the most of anything. I was kind of just a little bit directionless and a bit, I guess a little bit lost. So, January, that's what's happening. February, obviously, things start warming up in terms of COVID, and then obviously March, it all kind of like starts hitting a fan, and I lost my bar job basically, like everyone else in my house at the time. So I was living with my brother, his partner, my mate Curtis, and a dude that was like renting out a room off of us, and all. I don't think he was working, but the other 3 plus me, 4 of us, we all lost our job basically in the same week. And none of us were in spectacular financial positions. So it was a bit of a tricky spot. And, thankfully we were able to talk to our real estate agent, who was able to, sort some stuff out for us. So it kind of like helped ease the burden, I guess, at the beginning of the year. But, the fact remained that I was still a little way off, kind of like finding my feet as a trader, with only that one source of income now. And, the other people in my house, they were still kind of, they had no income. They were waiting on government checks while they kind of like, just figured out what the fuck they were going to do. So, it was a pretty trying time, I guess, for our house. But we all kind of like took it in our stride and tried our best to kind of like stay fit. We just work out together in the backyard, or we'll work on music, or, we just tried to do positive things. Try to keep our minds occupied. A really, really good saying my pop used to say, which Fabio seems to love, is that an idle mind is the devil's playground. And it's something that I wholeheartedly believe in. I think we can often kind of get ourselves into mischief just because we're bored. Boredom eating, for example. Boredom wanking. I think... lol. No, but seriously, I think, when we're bored, or when we're not occupied by something that like is fulfilling and is actually filling our souls up and pushing us towards a better life, then we can often get misled or misguided and kind of find ourselves doing things that aren't really productive or really suiting us or really benefiting us in any way. So we tried to just keep our minds active, our bodies active, and for the most part we did that, and we kind of did that all throughout March and April and June and July, and in August I moved out of that house and moved in with my girlfriend, and we kind of spent a few months together during the second lockdown, which was the kind of more harsh lockdown, I would say. I think the first one, everyone was kind of like, it's cool, like we'll ride this out together. The second lockdown came around, and obviously we all know like how Melbourne kind of had it, the harshest, and like the honest truth is that it was actually quite tough. Clearly nowhere near as tough as some other people probably have had it in the world with infection rates and death rates and stuff like that. But like it was for us and for our context, it was difficult. You know, not being able to see family and friends, or not being able to go out, not being able to be social, kind of really just being cooped up for long periods of time, really weighed on me. Weighed on, you know, both me and my partner, but it definitely weighed on me to the point where, you know, I think in September or maybe October, I kind of went to the doctor thinking I was dying. I was like stressing out real hard. I get pretty dramatic with this shit as it is. My mom's always calling me a drama queen, as I mentioned. But yeah, I went to the doctor thinking like, doc, seriously, I need a MRI, and you know, or give me all the blood tests. I'm dying. I'm dead set. Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm shaking, and you know, I'm losing my vision is blurry as fuck, and you know, I'm short of breath all the time, and like I'm really struggling, doc. Like I'm 100% sure I'm dying. So like, you know, get me in. What do I need to do? Anyway, and doctor's just like, that's just anxiety. So what are you talking about? That's not anxiety. There's no way that's anxiety. Anxiety can't do that to you. Anxiety can't fucking do that to you. He's like, yeah, no, you're just anxiety. I mean, not just anxiety, because obviously he's a little bit more empathetic than that, but he's like, yeah, no, that's anxiety. Anyway, I couldn't believe it, because like I'd had anxiety in, you know, specific situations or in reaction to things before, but I'd never had like this kind of deep-rooted, deep-seated kind of like, you know, physical reaction over a long period of time where it kind of just like set into my body. I'd never had that before. Like that real, like deep, oh man, just like you can't escape it. I was waking up with it. It wasn't triggered by anything. Just waking up triggered it, kind of thing. I had never had that before. So that was a first. And yeah, I kind of worked with the doctor, and we started chatting and going back and forth, and you know, we kind of worked out a few things, and I ended up getting on an antidepressant, which I'll talk a little bit about later. But it was so surreal to have such a physical reaction to this thing that I largely thought was, you know, something that you could control in your brain. Like I thought I could control myself or think my way out of anxiety or depression. Like being depressed, I thought, you know, at any moment I could just I liked sitting in depression from time to time, but like at any moment I could just kind of get up and get on with my day and get on with my business, and it'll be okay, kind of thing. And I thought that was the same with anxiety. I didn't realize it could be this, like, you know, this crippling, gripping kind of beast. So yeah, that was totally wild to me. But yeah, all in all, 2020 was an absolute fucking roller coaster. Not good or bad, just roller coaster. Because a roller coaster has every single emotion, you know, that you could possibly ever experience, right? Like there's joy, there's jubilation, there's excitement, there's thrill, there's fear, there's terror, there's, you know, relief when it's over. Yeah, but there's, you know, a roller coaster just kind of sends you around and gives you everything that a human could possibly encounter. And I feel like that's what 2020 was. It kind of like it was a boxer just ducking and went bah, bah. And it kind of, you know, you kind of get it up against a rope and you feel like you got a second to breathe, and then it kind of like, you know, ducks to the right and then bah, 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 and it, you know, whacks you a couple more times, and then all of a sudden you're backpedaling. And anyway, so that's what 2020 was for me, a bit of a wild one, and I feel like it was for everyone. And yeah, God, it was a heavy year. It was a heavy year where I feel like people who were comfortable stayed comfortable, and or got more comfortable, and people who were like not comfortable or poor got more poor, generally speaking, right? Like I feel like I feel like if you're in a shitty spot leading into COVID, you came out of it in probably a shittier spot. And I feel like if you were comfortable leading into COVID, you just got more comfortable, which is just exacerbates the wealth gap, which is, it's such a troubling thing to think about and be cognizant of, this gap between rich and poor. And it kind of weighed on me from time to time, especially throughout the Black Lives Matter movement throughout the middle of the year, and going to the rallies and just seeing people like be so disgusting and be so concerned about the economy, which I totally empathize with those arguments. But at the same time, like, when has there been a right time to protest against Black Lives Matter, or protest for Black Lives Matter, or protest against racism? When has there been a convenient time? Probably never. So it's like, fuck it. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of that was incredibly heavy, and God, it really, throughout the middle of the year just fucking whacked me. Just feeling that sorrow, that and that helplessness that a lot of the Black community, both here and the Aboriginal community here, and the African American community in America, kind of they felt, and I just kind of I took a bit of that on and tried to do what I could do, but inevitably kind of felt a little bit helpless. So yeah, that was wild, and I mean, it's not like that's finished. That's still a battle day to day that kind of like we all have to take on. That is far from over. I mean, we just saw today that the officer who shot the shit out of Jacob Blake's back, I believe, just got off, or just like kind of got found not guilty of shooting a motherfucker like 7 times in the back. So yeah, who knows what's going to happen there? That sounds like it's going to be pretty wild. But it was just such a roller coaster with all of that shit, and it doesn't seem like it's going to end anytime soon. It seems like it's only going to get worse, maybe, or at least I don't see an end in sight for a lot of that. Anyway, I'm gonna talk a bit more specifically about myself and some of the things that happen for me. That was just a little bit of an overview of kind of some of the things that happened to me and some of the things I saw and experienced this year. The first would be that type of anxiety, that real, deep, strong, kind of like gripping anxiety. Another first that I would like to talk about is I experienced a little thing called changer, which I'm not sure if anyone's ever tried changer, but it's it's a wild ride. It's I think they call it like DMT or something like that. I may or may not have tried changer, and that was a absolutely wild ride. Where I got to kind of basically I got transported into this like little world where I kind of saw my inner self, it's like my consciousness, deep down, buried below all these like kind of rainbows, these like these strings of like different colored strings, and in this like absolutely fascinatingly diverse and vibrant world, right? And he was down there, and I kind of like looked at him, and he looked up at me, and he kind of just gave me a nod like, it's all going to be okay, Matt. So yeah, that was pretty wild. Mushies, tried a little mushy for the first time while in lockdown, because why not? What else did I do for the first time? Don't know. Bought a camera, A6400, Sony A6400. Used it a little bit, probably didn't use it enough. Shot my music video with it, which was nice. Actually, I'm just going to get into talking about some specifics, and I've got some notes here. So I'm going to talk about trading, So in the year 2020, I netted 169K in my trading account. Obviously, all of that doesn't go into my pocket because of my arrangement with Fabio. But yeah, that's kind of what I did in the account. 45.5% win rate. My biggest single day was biggest single month was June. I did 41.8K. My single biggest day was the 19th of June, which was that SPT day, 12.2K. And my single biggest losing day was the 10th of September, which happens to be my birthday, where I toasted 5K. So fun. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I got a little bit too far ahead of myself celebrating my birthday in lockdown. I thought, fuck, how good is this? I'm going to blow 5K. Yeah. Because I can't blow 5K in the club, popping all them burb. So I decided to blow it on the stock market instead. Couldn't get on the pokes, so I thought, fuck it. Yeah, so that was pretty wild. Anyway, trading, like that's just a few kind of numbers to run by. But the year in trading, like honestly, has it was a wild ride for me, considering I gave up in January to the point where I just threw in the towel. I'd had enough of it. I couldn't do it anymore. From there to by the end of the year, being so wholeheartedly sure that this is like my future in terms of my career. It's a big change. It's a pretty big change, right? And yeah, I'm so thankful I stuck at it. I'm so thankful that Fabio kind of, he stayed solid with me. He trusted me. He held me down when I was struggling. He was there. He was on the phone. He believed in me. He backed me. He knew that I could turn the corner, and I did turn the corner. And I'm very, very, very thankful for his support and input and friendship and just, having faith in me, having faith and seeing it through. And it honestly changed my life from the perspective that I can now support myself in a way that I've never been able to do. I'm not mega balling, but I'm comfortable. Like I can pay for shit that I, would have struggled to pay for at the end of last year. I can help my friends and family out when they're struggling, and that's a great feeling. Like I love being able to help the people that I love. For years I've been broke as fuck, and my family and my friends have helped me out. And now that I'm in a position where I got a little bit of extra money in the bank, and I want to be able to help people out that I love, and if someone comes to me and says, honestly, like, hey, I'm really struggling right now, I need some help. I want to be there for people like that, because I know that people have been there for me when I've needed them. So I feel very privileged to be in a position where I can help out. It's a great feeling. So to be in a position where I'm not super struggling anymore. Like I was in debt, a fair bit of debt at the beginning of the year, and I knocked all that off, and I have money in the bank for the first time in probably, I'm going to say like 12 years at least, that I have money in the bank and I'm not in debt. It's fucking amazing. Honestly, God, it's just like the strain and the choking feeling that I felt every morning waking up with this like personal loan, owing people money, check the checks, scraping by, making bad decisions on top of the fact that I'm already in, debt and not having a lot of money, then making bad decisions on top of that. It's a tough way to live, and it really fucks with you up here, like it messes with your head a little bit, and it kind of challenges. I think it can really challenge your sense of self, especially I guess if your sense of self is derived from how well off you are. But I mean, I didn't think I was, but obviously, not having money and not being able to support myself properly kind of obviously did play a role in weighing on me. So, this year last year I got out of that little hole. I freed myself up a little bit from it, and it feels really, really good to have done that through my own means, through trading, through earning it, through just putting in work, working hard, getting good at something and reaping the rewards. That's a great feeling. Trading was, I don't want to talk too much about trading. I've done a couple of trading related things recently, but basically trading was fun this year for me. I learned a hell of a lot. I'm still so far away from where I want to be in terms of my development, especially after today. Like this is called Slaaaaap Haaaaapy, and someone said, how about you slap yourself happy and get move on with it kind of thing in a good way. They were trying to big me up. And that's what I need to do after today, because I toasted like 3.5K, maybe I toasted about 4K after comms today. It was a very heavy day. I got way too, I got ahead of myself again. A little bit like I did about 6 weeks ago. Got ahead of myself, had to reel it in, went on a massive 6-week heater. Today was that revisiting of that old kind of think you've made it. Oh, I've made it. I've had a little bit of success. I've made it. No, dickhead, you've just done the bare minimum. Chill out, okay? That's me talking to myself. And I need to do that. I need to chill the fuck out, because I have done really good work over the last 6 weeks, and I need to do more of that, way more of that, to consider myself successful. That's just a little brief synopsis of trading for the year. I traded pretty much every day last year. I don't think there was many days I missed. I traded full-time hours throughout the bulk of the main COVID kind of lockdown, which was March to June, July. I traded almost full-time hours. From there, I kind of not full-time, but I traded more full-time hours, I would say. And then I kind of scaled it back to finishing at midday, and then I throughout the maybe last 3 months of the year, I kind of scaled it back to just trading the match. I tried to trade the full day the last 3 days, and Monday worked okay, but the last 2 days I've just traded really, really bad. So I'm just going to go back to the match trading as of tomorrow, and hopefully, just build it back up again, because what else am I going to do, right? In terms of music, 2020, I didn't... it's a tough one. I didn't release as much as I would have liked, nowhere near as much as I would have liked. I did spend more time on music in 2020 than I ever have. I just didn't release as much. So it's an interesting one. It's like, how do you measure this shit? How do you measure how far you've come? It's hard, because all the skills that I've learned, that's really intangible. I know that I have developed my recording and mixing and engineering and production skills in 2020, my writing skills in 2020. But, I released the least amount of music that I ever have. I only released one song. I released Wondering on the 7th of August, and then I put a music video out to it. So the song itself, I recorded it and I mixed most of it myself. I got a little help from Luke and Curtis. That's the first time I've ever done that. So that was a huge little tick for me, little bonus win for me. I owned it, Curtis shot the video. We went out and we shot it one morning. Curtis, did all the shooting, and then I cut it all together, and then edited it. I edited it. I edited it. Anyway, I did that myself, which was a super laborious task, but that's a great word, isn't it? Laborious. Sounds like it should be French. Is it? Laborious. It was laborious. But it was a task that I loved, especially when I completed it and uploaded the YouTube video. Then I did a little YouTube video premiere thing, and people tuned in and they liked it, and it was really cool. The song itself is up to about 12,500 streams on Spotify. Not sure how many everywhere else, but on Spotify it's done okay. And then the video's got about 4,500 views. So wondering, I liked the song a lot and I wanted to do more songs. I just didn't. And that will be one thing that I will change this year. I will release a lot more music and I will release a lot more videos. My writing and my like kind of planning and my building of skills kind of happened. I mean, I'm going to still need to continue to develop that, but I didn't really, I just didn't want to release music last year. Fuck it, whatever. This year will be a different story. I'm releasing a butt ton of music, Last year I was on, so in 2020, I did do 2 features, a song called Send It by Frame. And then I did another song called Ball on Myself, which is, I featured on a current track, which I also featured Ruku, which is on his album Holy Wave, which is a dope song. If you want to go, I'll put a link for that album down below because it is a great album. Curtis actually put out 2 EPs last year, 2 albums last year, and they were amazing, both of them. So I'll actually link them both below because they're dope. And that's my boy. That's my day one. That's K Dot right there. In terms of, but yeah, music. I just spent a lot of time learning, mixing, recording, like just kind of playing around. I literally spent the most time on music that I've ever spent in a year. This last year. So, you know, that's a huge win for me personally. I committed to it every day. Like I didn't take like, you know, like a month off kind of thing. In previous years, I might get depressed and just take a month off. Like, excuse me. But I didn't do that last year. I kind of did something every day almost the whole year, and I tracked it. Like I tracked you know, my progress, and I kind of wrote down my hours and what I worked on, like, which I'll kind of get to in a moment. But yeah, I kind of worked the most on music that I ever have, collaborated, like spent a lot of time writing with Curtis and Ruku, spent a lot of time writing with Blitz and Ruku, Frame, Eggman a little bit, you know, just writing with my friends and kind of like collaborating. You know, obviously, as I said, not enough content in my opinion, but that'll change this year. In terms of my health, as I said a little bit earlier, I started on sertraline this year, which is an antidepressant. I started maybe 2 months ago on that when I was kind of having that hectic anxiety. Yeah, I was off its head. So I got on sertraline. My brother recommended it to me, and I gave it a go because, look, I'm going to be honest, guys. I have been a goddamn yo-yo my entire life. Very unpredictable, very emotional, super high highs, super low lows. Look, it's fun at times, but it does get a bit boring, to be honest. I kind of just wanted a bit more balance. I wanted to be flattened out, so to speak. And I hadn't been able to get it right myself. I tried a lot of shit. Psychiatrist, psychologist kind of thing, counseling, you know, self-help books, podcasts, meditating. I tried a whole bunch of things, like, and none of them super successfully. And I thought, you know what, it's time. I got 12 years, at least, maybe 14 years of proof that I am just not doing a great job by myself. I need a little bit of help. And I'm so glad that I got that help because I really genuinely feel like getting on the sertraline has helped balance me out. It hasn't totally taken away, you know, some of my, you know, poor reactions and decision making. Like there's a lot of stuff there that I still need to own, but I do feel like it has given me, it's just kind of like the way that I've explained it is like, it's like someone spotting you in the gym. Like you got to do the heavy lifting. But, you know, when you kind of like need that little extra, you know, with the last 1 or 2 reps, it just kind of helps you, you know, get the bar up. or, get them weights above your head. It's just that little spot, little daily spot that I, or in case I'm struggling, I can't get that weight up, just helping me out, that's the way that I kind of see it. Just that little help balancing. I've found it incredibly beneficial and useful for myself. And, God, I just wish I'd have started earlier, to be honest. I don't intend to be on this shit forever. I kind of just want to use it as a little bit of a way to help create better structures and kind of reprogram some of my neural pathways to be a little bit more beneficial for my long-term health and coping mechanisms and stuff. Like I don't want to turn to some of the poor decision making that I have turned to in the past. I kind of want to just remain a little bit flatter with my decision making and not be so impulsive. And I'm hoping that it kind of helps me with that. And then I'll kind of look to get off it at some point in the future. But, so far I've been on it for about 2 months, as I said, and it's helped. It's helped me. Yeah. So that's about, I'm on like 50 milligrams once a day is what that is. Yeah. And what else with health? I started, so I kind of did intermittently a little bit of home martial arts work, carrying on from some training I was doing on the Central Coast. Just kind of, I bought like a heavy bag at the beginning of lockdown, hung it up, and would just kind of hit the bag every couple of days, if you know what I mean. And I kind of, once I moved to Collingwood about 2.5 months ago, I joined a very reputable martial arts gym called Absolute in Collingwood, and they're only just around the corner from my house. And I've been going there pretty much every day, absolutely frothing on it, loving it, absolutely loving it. Been doing Muay Thai and boxing there, and just feeling really good. Just moving, get my sweat on. I go to the midday classes with a guy named Jack Jenkins, who's a professional MMA fighter, who's a fucking absolute lovely bloke and a hectic fighter, and he loves hip hop, so that's pretty dope. And he's been my coach there, or instructor, whatever you like to call it. And yeah, it's been amazing. I've been doing Muay Thai boxing and just kind of moving around, sparring with some dudes who are like super, super talented fighters, at least, kind of at our level. And yeah, just learning from people has been amazing. Learning, always learning how to move, learning how to this and that. And then, I got to go back and visit my old, my original martial arts club, which are called For Life, or Isogai, Sensei Baz and Jackie, and Sensei Mick up on the Central Coast, where I kind of learnt some of the basics of striking technique. Got to go visit those guys just before Christmas, which was really nice, and kind of see how they're all going, which is great. So martial arts training, continuing that, keeping my mind strong, trying to keep my body strong, trying to keep my fitness up. That's one thing that I kind of continued on with. And one thing that I kind of started towards the end of the year, once everything opened back up, was going to the gym again. And I've been going regularly, which is not sure if you can tell. Not sure you can tell. But I started going to the gym regularly, and that's been super fun. And I'm actually really enjoying it. Straight up, actually enjoying going to the gym. Probably going a little bit too much, and kind of like I've taken the last 2 days off. I wore myself out a little bit, but before that I was going regularly and really enjoying it. So yeah, that's about it for my health. I started a podcast. You're listening to it. It's called Slaaaaap Haaaaapy. It's called Slaaaaap Haaaaapy. Slaaaaap Haaaaapy. Anyway, this is my podcast. I started it, going on 3 months ago now. I was just like, do you know what? Gonna pull the trigger. And 10 episodes, two interviews with Nicholas the Long Dong Fabio. 354 minutes of content, 1,254 downloads. That's wild. That is absolutely wild. Thank you to everyone out there who's kind of watched and listened and downloaded. And P.S. If you're listening now, feel free to drop me like a little comment, little review, an honest review. I want to know what you think of my podcast in the Apple Podcast rate and review section. I would love to know what you guys think of my podcast here. But yeah, I started a podcast, and this is episode 11 of it, and I'm really enjoying it. Obviously, I got some equipment to help me kind of manage this. One thing that I learned today is that the little camera holder bit in the ring light is actually great. Recommend. I don't know if you noticed that on episode 10, the camera kind of like slid to the side and it messed up the angle. It's because I had it on this like old like little tripod, and it had it plugged into the charger, and it kind of like tilted as we were filming, and I didn't realize till after, and I was like, oh fuck it, we'll just deal with it. But I've got it like on the clip, the phone holder in the middle of the ring light, and it's actually so legit. So should have been using that the whole time. But yeah, we live and we learn. We live and we learn. So yeah, did the podcast, and I'm loving it. Uploading almost every Wednesday or as regularly as I can, doing all the, design for it. I'm just frothing on it. I'm just frothing on it, to be honest. I'm just really enjoying it. So I should have started with this bit, but whatever. I'm going to talk about it now. So I had some goals this year. I had 5 goals, and they were to spend 600 hours on my craft, like my music craft, to go on a holiday, to be debt-free, to release one musical project, and to net $200,000 in the trading account. Now, truth be told, the $200,000 net income wasn't even on, like, I wasn't even on the radar to make 10K in January. So I didn't put that goal at the beginning of the year. I think I put that goal maybe in like maybe April or May, when I kind of went full-time trading. I kind of decided, when I started to pick it up, I was like, do you know what? Now I'm going to fucking try and swing for the hills. So that goal came in a little bit later, and I fell short of that, only doing 170. And I didn't release a project, but I did manage to get over 600 hours of work on my craft, which ended up being the most I've ever done, but still not enough, in my opinion. I did go on a holiday at the end of the year to see my family and friends in Sydney, where I currently am still holidaying and loving every second of it. It's what can I say? And to be debt-free, which I managed to do in, I think March or something. I think March. Yeah, I got debt-free. I thought that was going to take me all year too. So 3 out of 5 goals achieved. I'm fucking happy with that. I got some more goals for this year, which I may read out. Who knows? I might read them out. I might not. But yeah, pretty happy with that. Could have done more, could have done less, but I just kind of wanted to nail stuff. I just kind of wanted to aim for stuff that I knew I could tick off. There's no reason why I shouldn't have released one project. And to be honest, after kind of my June, July, August, I should have got to 200K. It was that little fucking period. I think September, October, November. I think I just like, no, October, November, I just kind of like I flopped real hard there. I should have, I traded like a doofus. So no reason why I shouldn't have done both of those, and I'll probably aim to do both of those this year to make up for it. So what worked in 2020 for myself? Okay, what worked? I'm going to say that journaling, gratitude, and daily creative writing. So I had this like little morning routine that I kind of developed basically when the lockdown started in I think early March. I started journaling every day as a way to kind of like keep tabs on my emotional health and my mental health. I kind of just wanted to jot down how I was feeling, what I was doing, record the music, like record the data on like the music work I was doing each day, and just kind of like reference how I felt, So that was the intention behind the journaling. But it kind of turned into a little bit more than that. It kind of turned into this ritual for me where I would get up each morning. I'd have like a black coffee. I would journal the day before, like my thoughts and feelings about what I did the day before and how I thought the day before went. And just jot down the important stuff. I record how many hours I worked on music, and what stuff I did. Was I working on production? Was I writing a song? Was I mixing? Then I would do a gratitude journal where I'll, up the top it says, what am I letting go of? Then it'd say 7 things I'm grateful for, and then 3 things that I'm focusing on for that day. And it was just some simple thing that I found it came up, but I found it like really beneficial to kind of like fill myself up with joy every morning and gratitude, and just think about the small stuff that I loved. And I'd write stuff like Vegemite and prawns, and I ran at my MMA trainer Jack. Just write him. My friend from the Central Coast, Jack. My friend from Sydney, Jack. I think one day I wrote all Jacks. It was a jack off. Who won? To be revealed next episode. Now that was good. I like that. But yeah, I'll just kind of write down things that I'm grateful for. My mom, my dad, all my brothers, my sister, one of my brothers, my girlfriend. I just write down different things every day, and the people that touch my heart, and the things that touch my heart, but also just the random things, the rain, the production software I used, making an effort today, trying harder today, doing better today. Like I would write stuff like that as well, affirmations to myself that I was grateful for. So yeah, I had the gratitude journal, and then I would do a little bit of creative writing. I had like a little pad. Now, this is an interesting story, whatever. All my life, I had this like obsession with like keeping things neat and tidy when it came to like writing. And if I tidy when it came to writing, I'm inciting something that's really frightening. Never hiding, running, I'm always riding. Biden. Yeah, bars. So yeah, I'd always have this thing about being tidy. So like if I had a notebook and I started writing in it, taking notes, really nice first page, really nice second page, then I make a mistake on the third page, I would almost certainly not use that book again. I would kind of like mentally go, oh no, that's like dirty, or I need to discard that, start a new book. I just had this weird obsession with notepads and having them neat, everything in order and neat and nice, right? So I would always have like a stack of pads, books and empty notepads, sketch pads, whatever, and none of them would be full. And I'd always be buying one, and like it was just like a unhealthy obsession kind of thing. So last year I made an effort, a real pointed effort to just finish one. I didn't finish it, but I used it for the whole year, or at least like since March. I think March I got it, and I used it for the whole year. Because I was like, I got to stop this. I got to stop this fucking dumb obsession with just like starting stuff again. Just finish something. Just keep doing something. Finish something, whatever. So yeah, that was interesting. But yeah, creative writing, I would just like write like, what I was feeling, and just kind of, it was kind of different to journaling, because journaling was exactly what I was like seeing and thinking and feeling. Whereas the creative writing was more about like, big picture thinking, ideas, moving forward. What am I doing? How's this, how am I really sitting with all this that's going on, like perspective type stuff, and future and planning and notes and ideas. And so that was a little bit different to the actual journaling. Another thing that worked well was tracking stats. I said I tracked the hours that I worked on my craft, my music and stuff like that. Also my trading stats, tracked all them. But just trying to, intermittently I tracked, days exercising, days not drinking alcohol, days not gambling, stuff like that. I did a little bit of tracking with those things, not throughout the whole year. Things that I did track throughout the whole year was the music and trading. But I just kind of paid a bit more attention to stats. And one thing I'm definitely going to do this year is pay way more attention to stats. I need to just be tracking a lot more stuff because, numbers don't lie, data doesn't lie. And that's really as simple as it is. I've lied to myself too long about things, and when they're in front of you, you can't deny it. You can't run from it. It is what it is. So tracking more stats so I can't lie to myself is what's in order this year. What worked? Regularly exercising. Honestly, was something I grew to love. Especially, I read the David Goggins book, "You Can't Hurt Me," I think it's called, and that book just made me fall in love with kind of gravitating towards pain, because pain is where the lesson is. Like if you're in pain, it's because it's pain's trying to teach you something. And yeah, I kind of gravitated towards pain a little bit more, whereas in the past I wanted to be more comfortable, so I ran away from pain. That's another thing I got to do this year: run towards pain a bit more, because pain is uncomfortability, and uncomfortability is where you grow, right? Because things are stretching and tearing and growing. So I'm going to run towards pain a little bit more this year. Working on creative efforts daily, as I've touched on a couple of times. That's something I've never done before. And it was really beneficial just to kind of get up and say, no, even though you don't feel great, you're going to work today. You're going to work on music today. Or no, you don't feel great, but you're going for a jog today. It's shit like that. Like I've never done that before. This year was a real change in my mentality and kind of, growing up a little bit in terms of the way that I approach things like that. And I'm going to need to do a hell of a lot more of it this year if I'm going to, continue to achieve the things that I want to achieve. Doing monthly reviews, both for me personally in my diary, and then kind of reviewing like how many hours I put into my music, how well I traded, how well I looked after my health, and how well I looked after my finance and relationships, stuff like that. So I do a monthly review for myself, and then I started doing monthly reviews for trading maybe in August or September. So I only did like 4 or 5 of them, but they proved to be actually quite fun. I kind of like them. So definitely going to continue monthly reviews for both trading and for myself personally, just so I'm staying focused on the big picture stuff every month. What worked? Sertraline, I already talked about that, but I found it really beneficial. And then taking my financial health more seriously. Now, obviously, it helps when you're making a bit more money to take your financial health more seriously, but it's more than that. Like I definitely started going above and beyond to kind of like monitor my money a bit better. There were times where I got a little bit lax. September, October, November, kind of when the lockdown was like at its most harshest in Melbourne. It really weighed on me, and I kind of like let my spending and my trading, and I let a lot of things go in that time because I was really struggling. But for the most part, I definitely was way more tuned into my financial health than I ever have been. And that was a beautiful thing. And that's something I'm going to do a hell of a lot more of this year. Really stay tuned into my financial health and kind of trying to make sure that I'm setting myself up for the rest of my life and trying to look after my best interests, not get in my way, not make bad decisions, actually make good decisions for my future. I want to do a lot more of that this year. So what didn't work? What didn't work in 2020? Changing my priorities too frequently. So I guess I kind of like, I'm very energetic. I kind of want to move around. I want to work on this song now. I want to work on this video. I want to work on this project. I want to work on this group project, this collaboration. Bouncing around too much with my priorities, I think. I want to learn keyboard. I want to focus on martial arts. I want to focus on trading and review investment opportunities and the markets, and I don't know, like I just kind of I would change my priorities a little bit too much, I think, which is not the worst thing. It's just got to be done in a much more structured way. I was way too loose with the way that I approached just my priorities and kind of like tackling the big stuff, So what didn't work. Regularly drinking. I guess I drunk too much last year. Especially through that second lockdown. I was drunk too much. I was using it as a coping mechanism at times, and that's not healthy. I don't regret it. It is what it is. Actually, I do regret it. I wish I could have gone back and not have drunk as much. That would have been good. This year, I have decided to go substance free. I've decided to not drink or to do any drugs for the whole of 2021. Hopefully, maybe going forward, but I'm just going to start with this year, give myself 12 months of really narrowed focus on the things that I really love, save money, obviously not put weight on, look after my health, just try to be really positive this year. And that's how I've started to approach it, is by kind of going substance free first and then kind of making other adjustments as needed. But yeah, regular drinking didn't work last year, and poor diet choices. I was just too lax at times, getting a lot of Uber Eats, being lax, just making poor food choices. I tried a few things because my health, and so I think at the beginning of the year I might have been vegan, or towards the end of last year I was vegan for a couple of years. I was a pretty bad vegan, but I was mainly vegetarian, trying to be vegan, but that kind of wasn't working. My health just wasn't doing great, so I tried a few things throughout the year. I tried a keto diet, and I actually tried a carnivore diet. Neither of them worked for me either. I kind of realized that extremes are not necessarily. They don't work for everyone. They didn't work for me. I tried extremes. I didn't try veganism for the health alternatives, for the health benefits. I tried it because it was like a socially conscious thing that I believed in. Like I believe that everything has a right to live, and I'm still not super fond of eating meat, but I feel like my own health is probably more important to me right now. So yeah, kind of the veganism wasn't from was from a ethical point of view. The keto and the carnivore, they were from health points of view. I tried them because my health was struggling, and I was looking for alternatives to get my gut right and to get my health back on track. They didn't work. They failed dramatically. Actually, carnivore was interesting. I didn't mind it. It actually was okay. Keto crushed me. The high fats did not agree with me. But yeah, I tried a few of those things, and they didn't work for me. So I've kind of just realized that the extremes are not there for me right now. Maybe I can revisit veganism at another point in my life, but for now it's just kind of like a fairly balanced diet, which seems to be working a little bit better at this point. One other thing that did work is black coffee and fasting in the morning. Black coffee and a fast in the morning, honestly, was probably one of the best things that I did last year. I fucking love it. It's the best way to start the day, in my opinion, or for me. It was huge for me. I loved it. Keeps weight off, keeps me switched on. I just feel like you can maintain energy for longer. Save money as well. You cut out one meal. Yeah, I just kind of liked it. Switching a black coffee from having a regular kind of like latte and shit like that, and then fasting in the morning. Yeah. So anyway, that is my 2020 year in review. That's pretty much it. I don't know if I'll talk about like what I'm looking forward to or what I'm thinking about 2021 just yet. Maybe I'll do another episode on that at some point. But that's about an hour that I've been talking. I'll probably leave it at that because, who fucking wants to talk? Who wants to listen to me talk for another 20 minutes? Not me, not my mother-in-law and my girlfriend who are out there having to, listen to me ranting and raving and swearing and talking my shit in this room. They don't want to hear me talk any longer. So I'm going to wrap it up. My name is Savilian. Look, actually, no, before I sign off, if anyone has any questions about my 2020 year in review, there's anything you want to further instruction or information or guidance, or, you got a question about something, hit me up. Hit me up down here, throw a comment in the comment section, whatever, DM me, whatever you want. You can get at me wherever you want, Savilian on Instagram, Twitter, whatever. It's all good. But if you like this podcast, please let me know. I want to know. If you don't like this podcast, let me know. I just want to know. I want that feedback. What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe, actually. Hit that YouTube subscribe thing. Because I'm trying to get my numbers up, trying to run it up. Anyway, Slaaap Haaaaapy, episode 11. Thank you so much for listening. My year in review, and I'll see you next time.